Hi, Dr. Gilbert here, along with Rachel Matthews. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, everybody.
We are here. Rachel, do you have much snow at where you are?
No, we got totally we lost out on the snow.
Oh,
There's nothing. We got
no
sunny
road.
sunny skies.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, and the snow is gone. We had a little dusting, a light, you know,
Mm,
like a dust crop. What do you call the crop duster came
yeah,
across?
yeah. But Salem got a
Uh,
ton. My sister's house has 6 or 7 inches. She's totally
right,
seen
I
it.
know. Amazing.
Yeah,
So, but it's cold.
it is very cold. Yeah, I was out for my run and my nose was frozen.
Well, good for you. I did my little run on my treadmill over here, but yeah,
Wee
here's my
wee.
treadmill. Here's my treadmill.
There it is.
Yeah. But yeah, so Rachel, I am so glad that we've been reading through this book. But I have to tell you, I am definitely jet lagged. I was gone. We were gone. We didn't meet last week. I was in Texas visiting my mom, which was wonderful. And then we also popped over to Atlanta and then down to Florida. So we were in two different time zones, and you know what? It's taking a toll.
Yes. Yeah, it takes a little bit to bounce back from that.
Yeah, I even tried to get up the same time that I would have gotten up here, but it's hard,
Mhm.
to stay social and then yeah. So,
Yeah.
excuse me. Hold on. All right.
That
Yeah, but so
there's even evidence that it disrupts the gut microbiome. So
I believe it.
so you're experiencing some impact just all around with all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really trying to get back into my good hygiene, my good sleep hygiene, going to bed. Yeah, and that's getting up. Yeah, and so that's what this week's
Mhm.
yeah
Mhm.
chapter is all about, right?
It
Getting up.
is.
Yeah.
Chapter 18 is be early to rise. So he
Early
he
to
he
rise.
makes a strong case for the early bird gets the worm.
Who
He does
said
make
that?
a
I
point.
think it was Benjamin Franklin.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Benjamin Franklin said two things. He said the early bird gets the worm, I believe, and I also believe he also said early to bed, early to rise makes a person healthy, wealthy, and wise. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of people through history who've taken that advice, who've seen it. There's something to it, right? People wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
make big statements like that if there wasn't something to it, and a
Mm-hmm.
recognition of in their own life the difference between the times when I'm up early and getting the early worm, or the times when I'm not. Right? I
Mm-hmm.
think we see it in our own lives, these different
Mm-hmm.
phases of life, and
Yeah.
and see the value.
Right.
I want to read this first part. He quotes psychiatrist and psychotherapist Tracy Marks, and he says, going to sleep early and waking early syncs the body clock with the Earth's natural circadian rhythms, which we've talked a
Right.
lot about,
Yep.
which is more restorative than trying to sleep while the sun is up.
Right.
So that kind of sums up what he's saying. We're syncing with the Earth's natural rhythm when the sun is coming up and when the sun is going down.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. Yeah, and it's so important to do that. I was thinking, yeah. So, and there's a couple of ways to sync with that natural rhythm of the
Mhm.
earth, and
Yeah.
definitely one way is to sleep when the sun is down, and the other way is to eat foods. And we don't need to go off on this rabbit trail, but to eat foods in season, yeah,
Right.
is another way to sync yourself with the rhythm of the sun. So,
Mhm.
yeah, but and the importance, the underlying importance of that is that then your hormones have these are released in a fashion that supports your health
Mhm.
and for our purposes weight regulation.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm listening to the weight loss summit all this week, and one of the doctors was talking about hormones, and the way he quantified it was 2 hours of sleep. If you're in bed you've logged 2 hours of sleep before midnight, those 2 hours are equal to and worth more than 4 hours after midnight.
Yeah.
So it's really this, before midnight, there's something about, this book
Hmm.
talks about it at length about this
Hmm.
9 to 10 o'clock time frame of being this magical time when if we can get to sleep.
Right. I remember my husband always told me that his coach said, and this when he was a kid, his coach said, I'm not going to quote it exactly, but it's the same thing, that you're going to perform better, that 2 hours before midnight is going to be worth more of sleep, is going to be worth more than 4 hours after midnight, as far as your performance is concerned. So, I mean, this touches so many different areas, right? Of
That's
health.
funny that you say that. My son's baseball coach right now has told him that if the sports federations realized the value of sleep and the performance value of sleep, it would be considered an illicit drug.
Right.
Right. You know, like if they knew what kind of power these athletes could tap into.
Right.
So
so true. So true. And then, And so, athletes, they're working out, they're doing all these things, but they can make their performance better if they just sleep at the right times. So, I'm reminded of another kind of a saying about burning the candle at both ends. And it just doesn't work. So getting up early is good for health.
And one of the ways he really talks about this is, as we mentioned, getting into sync, but then setting up a routine. So not just getting to bed, at a decent time once in a while and getting up early once in a while, but really the rhythm. And he says that irregular sleep hours, when you don't have a regular sleep rhythm, it's perpetual jet lag. So you know what it's like. You're talking about that. Irregular sleep is like you have perpetual jet lag.
Right. It's true.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get, and this is what, I remember this part of sleep hygiene way back from medical school. That's the one thing I did tell my patients. I'm doing a lot more detailed now, but go to bed at the same time every night, get up at the same time every morning, go to bed at the same time every night, get up at the same time every morning. Within a half an hour is really important.
So what do we think it is? What is it about early rising? Because really in this chapter, he's really pointing to training ourselves. If you're not considered a morning person, or you don't think you are, right? I hear a lot of this identity calling in coaching. I hear a lot of people say, well, I'm not a morning person. You're claiming that. That's an identity. I'm a night owl. And it's a truth, or it's a story people have told themselves based on how they were as kids, what their parents told them. Oh, I could never get you to sleep, right? And they've taken on the identity and then sort of lived their lives based on this story. Oh, well, I couldn't possibly wake in the morning. I'm a night owl. And so what do you think it is that is the value of rising early? He's really pushing on get up early. Why?
Well, I think it all has to do with your those hormones that are released in that diurnal pattern or cycle. And for example, cortisol. And so your brain just is ready to go. And so if you're in sync with that rhythm better, then you're going to be awake when you should be awake, and then have the energy that you need. The other thing is that getting up early is going to help you go to bed earlier.
Right. I mean, it seems simplistic, but that really is true.
So if you're getting to, I have some people like, oh yeah, I don't go to sleep. I'm not tired. So I don't go to bed until 1 o'clock in the morning because I just can't go to sleep. I'm not tired. Well, when are you getting up? 11. Okay. All right. Well, maybe one of the reasons you're not tired is because you're sleeping until 11 o'clock. So we work on pushing back that getting up. So it's easier to maybe turn the getting up. I don't know about easier, but one of the ways to change that is to get up early, force yourself out of bed.
Right.
So that you are tired.
And it's easier because you were right, because you can force yourself to get out of bed. You can't force yourself to fall asleep. And in fact, that doesn't work. When you try the harder you try, the harder it is. So trying to get yourself to sleep when you can't sleep, we've got to start on the other end, and slowly setting that alarm earlier, maybe by 5 or 10 minutes at a time, and maybe week by week.
Just
If
real
it's really
gradual.
helping you, you can do it, but you can ease into it.
That's
Mhm.
exactly right. And that's one of
Yeah.
his tips here
That's
is
one of
to
the tips.
ease into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ease into it. Yeah. So, right. No more than 15 minutes at a time, I would say. But
Right, right. You might be someone who's had a history of early rising, and maybe you're just ready and chomping at the bit to get back to it, and you might just find yourself popping up and dive right back into that rhythm, and that's possible. But if you're struggling, just know that it is doable. You can just do it in small, tiny portions.
Mhm,
It doesn't
mhm.
have to happen overnight, and in
Right.
fact, it will feel more gentle to your whole
Mhm.
system. If
Right.
Yeah, you won't have as many days where you're kind of like falling asleep at lunchtime or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So he also makes the point that, yeah, that sleeping between 10 o'clock p.m. and 2 o'clock a.m. is
Yeah.
the best time for sleep to do its greatest work.
Yeah. Yeah. He calls it the money time.
The money time.
There's this 4-hour window where if you're not capturing and capitalizing on it, you're
Mhm.
missing. You're missing
Mhm.
out. And there's more for you, right? There's something waiting for you between those hours of 10 to 2 that you're not getting. When I think of it that way, it's like I want that. I want that. I
Mhm.
don't want to knowingly just like, it's like somebody handing you $100. Did you just say no? No, you're
Yeah.
gonna take it. You want it. Like don't say no to this. Right.
Right.
Uh, and one of the ways he says, to get excited about it, start to think about why is it a value to you. Meditate. He talks about the night before. Think of one thing you'd like to do in the morning that excites you.
Mhm.
So to help you
Mhm.
get out of bed, my first thought is always coffee. Like I'm so
I was going to say that. I was afraid to say. I'm glad you said that first because
I'll
I
say it
always look forward to my coffee, and always
every
it
time.
never disappoints.
It never disappoints. Every time I'm just excited for the ritual of it, the waiting for it. I do some, different morning routine things while I'm making it and drinking it. I love it.
Mhm.
It's my morning
Yeah.
routine. And if I'm up by 5:15, 5:30, I'm up before anybody else. And I have at least a half an hour, if not 45 minutes before anyone else gets up.
Mhm.
And that is money, right? My time. The house is quiet. I can do whatever I want. And it's this,
Right.
I feel like I'm stealing this like secret moment, in the
Right.
morning. It's all mine.
Yeah. I enjoy. I'm up between 5 and 5:15 every day.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's the best that
Yeah.
it's the it's still that morning dim,
Yeah.
but the glow comes through the window, and yeah, it's a special time.
There's a quiet over
Mhm.
the earth, right? You can sense that quiet, and
Mhm.
you're there
Mhm.
to witness it,
Yeah, and to welcome that new day.
to
Yeah.
welcome it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And, oh gosh, what was one of the things I was thinking of? The getting excited, the morning routine, jumping out of bed. Oh, shoot, maybe it'll come to me. There was
Okay.
something that,
Yeah.
uh, anyway, yeah, waking up, getting up early. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Nothing good happens after 10.
Oh, yes.
Nothing good happens after 10.
Nothing good.
Like,
Oh,
this is
you changed that for me because I've heard nothing good happens after midnight. So I like that
oh,
better though. Nothing good
yeah,
happens after 10. That's
because it's
right.
true. I mean, maybe a few good things, and nothing really happens good after 12. But I like to think about it like if I'm up that early and I'm embracing them, and there's a bunch that happens good at 5:30 a.m. There's a
Yeah.
bunch.
Yeah.
And I am working with my circadian rhythm and with my biorhythms, and I'm excited for my day, and I'm planning, and I have this time to think about my morning and to plan and to set my intentions, to journal, to
Mhm.
pray. Man, that's good stuff. And
Mhm.
around 9:30, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this day.
Mhm.
I'm done. Let's
Yeah.
bag it, right? I'm ready for another one. Like, what do you have left for me? Nothing. What's left? Yes. TV, food, social media. What?
Right.
Nothing is
Might
left.
as well go to bed. Might as
I'm
well go to bed.
might as well go to bed. Yeah.
No, I'm so glad you said
Yeah.
that because a lot of times, especially moms, think, "Oh, this is my time. Finally, the kids are asleep, and
Mhm.
this is my time." Well, yeah, and you can have that my time
Mhm.
in the morning,
Yeah.
right before kids get up, just like you were saying. So the my time, that 10 to 2, if we can embrace that, that's the money time for
Yes.
your body to do its thing, your brain to get rid of the garbage,
Mhm.
to rejuvenate, to
Yeah.
recharge your battery, to lose weight, between 10 and 2,
Right.
it happens. If we can embrace that and then have that me time in the morning because we went to bed earlier, we
Mhm.
could get up earlier before the kids. If we can switch that around,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that's going to be just a double win
Mhm.
for your health.
Yeah. I wish I would have learned this and had someone to model after when I was a young mom, because
Yeah.
when I finally learned it, my kids were, in high school. So it was still helpful, but it wasn't the same. But when I finally learned this and changed my entire routine to waking up early in the morning, it's like, dang it, if I would have known this, because
Mhm.
I'm so much more efficient and effective when I'm up
Mhm.
early. The
Yeah.
the time at night when I was doing my me time was not really restorative. It,
Mhm.
it was not. What would have been more restorative is just go to bed. That's the
Right.
me
Yeah.
time I really needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so to change that mindset,
Mhm.
work on kind of
Mhm.
shifting, getting excited for the morning and changing it that the me time happens then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff, Rachel. We're going to come back next week and talk about next chapter. We're kind of coming to the end of the chapter
We
or
are.
end of the book. So
Mhm.
at this time, I think we should start challenging people to do that 14-day sleep reset.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
If you have the book, it's at the back of the book. And he walks you through. What I love about what he offers here is the journaling piece, right? He
Mhm.
has it laid out for you,
Mhm.
so that you can fill in the questions and really work through the book. He challenges you every day to something new. He reminds you of tips and tricks for sleeping, and he really challenges you to kind of take on a different kind of focus every
Right.
day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Kind of be the observer.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah, so
All right.
makeover. Think about it,
Yeah,
everybody.
that's great. Yeah. Let's think about that.
Mhm.
And let's talk about what's for dinner.
What's for
So,
dinner? Yeah, so I need groceries desperately. So this
mhm.
afternoon, after my last coaching session, I'll head to the store. But I'm um, part of that weight loss summit. I watched a guy who puts together these amazing plant-based meals, but fast and just easy, like so easy. I learned so much from his just taking away the complication in the kitchen. He's like, make it so easy for you that there's no it would be harder to go out and order something or to go and buy something at the fast food than it is to just throw this together. So I loved he helped me release a few of my hangups in the kitchen, and I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
But one of his is called he calls it ratatouille. So it's like a ratatouille soup
Uh-huh.
kind of
Ooh,
thing.
yum. Yeah.
Yeah, that looked really pretty and really easy, and so that's what I'm going to make tonight.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How
Now,
about you?
tell us who's sponsoring this weight loss summit.
Who's sponsoring it? Oh, I
That's
don't know.
okay. All right.
I
Let me
mean,
know.
the
If you
sponsor.
figure it out, text me. I want to know.
I will. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll
And we're still getting into our back into routine. So we're going to do breakfast for dinner tonight.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
love that.
always, yeah. So,
Mhm.
all right. Well, good chatting with you,
Mhm.
Rachel. And as always, we're just challenging you to do one little thing that's going to make your sleep a little bit better, which
Yeah.
will really impact your health in
Mhm.
tremendous ways. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, everybody.
Well, next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.